Yes, it's that time of the year again. Let's do one transfer your League One club needs to make this January. Wow, we've made it to the January transfer window. It's time for these clubs to reinforce going into the second half of the season. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree with my selections? What's one player, maybe one position you feel your club still needs to strengthen? Clubs have been very busy in the early part of this transfer window. One position that keeps cropping up. There's one position that every single team is looking for. 3, 2, 1, a striker. The amount of strikers I'm putting towards this episode today are incredible. Let me know in the comment section down below if you want to see more of this type of content. Please do leave a like. Please do subscribe as well. Let's get straight into it. Starting off with Forest Green Rovers. So for Forest Green Rovers, I've gone with a player called Ethan Urahan, currently playing his football for St Mirren. He's a central midfielder. He's played 17 appearances this season for St Mirren, 21 years of age. He has been linked with Forest Green Rovers throughout the entirety of this January window so far. Other clubs have also been looking at him, but I do believe he can bring that energy, that enthusiasm into the central part of the field for Forest Green Rovers. Look where they are in the league table. They need some refreshments. They need some new faces and fast. I think Ethan Urahan would bring that to this squad. Rumours have been accepted already, so that could be quite an advanced deal. But I think they need something a little bit different. He's quite tall as well. He's quite physical. And like I say, he can bring that bit of spark, that bit of energy that Forest Green Rovers need coming into the second half of the season. I've gone with Ethan Urahan to go and join Forest Green Rovers this January. So for MK Dons, I've gone with John Kamani Gordon. This will be a loan deal from Crystal Palace. He's very, very versatile. He can play off the left, he can play off the right, and through the middle as well. A pacey, versatile attacker. 3 very, very exciting words. 19 years of age, now ready for regular professional minutes. He's been around the Crystal Palace squad now for quite some time, but he's now looking to get regular minutes on the football pitch and a loan down to League One. He's been linked with some Championship clubs as well, so there is interest. But if MK Dons can get this deal done, this would be very, very exciting. I think it'd bring a real level of quality in the attacking areas for MK Dons, which is something they do need to refresh. He'd fit the MK Dons and Mark Jackson's system brilliantly. In a 4-3-3, that's fine. He can play anywhere across that front three. In a 3-4-3, depending what formation he goes with, he can also play in those different areas as well. 11 goals in 8 games in the Premier League 2 already this season. He's on form when it comes to youth football. Now can he make that step up into professional football? That'll be the question. Patrick Vieira is very, very excited about the future of this young man. At 19 years of age, I think he can step in now to a first team side. MK Dons could be the one for him. I've gone with John Kamani Gordon to join MK Dons this January. What a pickup this would be. So for Morecambe, I've gone with Daniel Jebison, a low move from Sheffield United. Surprise, surprise, a League One club needs a centre-forward, and this centre-forward brings great pace and height to any side he plays within. He enjoys running in behind, stretching the play. Morecambe desperately need a centre-forward. Cole Stockton is not hitting the back of the net. Last season, he scored 23 goals plus in all competitions. This year, he's not quite hitting the mark, whether that's the service, or the lack of service, should I say. Attitude after he didn't get the move he wanted in the summer, I don't know. Regardless of that, it needs to be resolved. They need to bring in someone who can start scoring goals. That's the biggest downfall so far during this season, hence why they are currently in the relegation zone. If they want to get out of that issue, they need to start bringing in someone that can, really tuck the ball away at those key moments and in those key games. I think Daniel Jebison would do that. A few reasons as to why. They need to be good on the counter-attack. They're not going to be dominating the play. They're not going to be playing, possession-based football and breaking teams down with the majority of the ball. They need to be effective on the counter-attack. The pace of Jebison could be very, very effective. I think he's going to be available for loan. I think this would be a really, really clever pickup. I've gone with Daniel Jebison for Sheffield, from Sheffield United to Morecambe this January. So for Burton Albion, I've gone with Jonathan Tompkinson. This will be a loan deal from Norwich City. He's a centre-back, not a striker. That makes a change. For me, Burton conceding goals has been a huge, huge issue. Currently, at this halfway point of the season, they've conceded the most amount of goals than any other League One side. So shoring up that defence makes total sense. It could be pivotal in their potential survival hopes. Tompkinson is an exciting young centre-back at Norwich City that could easily walk into this Burton Albion defence, but he's been struggling for minutes. In fact, he's only been playing really under-23s football and has shone during his time there. I think he's ready for professional football now, and going to Burton, I think it'd be a pretty win-win for all parties. Norwich City can get a player they're quite excited about in the future, playing regular football. Tompkinson can develop by playing professional football, and Burton can shore up that defence with what is no doubt at League One level going to be a really, really intriguing and potentially quality centre-back as well. He's extremely highly rated at Norwich, and he's just on a new long-term deal there. So they believe in him. Clearly he's doing something right under 23s football. Can he transfer that into playing regular professional minutes? You have to wait and see. I don't know, but I think from what I've seen from him, he can do that, and he can make that step up. For me, Jonathan Tompkinson, a loan deal from Norwich City to Burton, will be a brilliant, brilliant story, really, I think, for Burton and for everyone involved this January. So for Accrington Stanley, I've gone with Jack Marriott, a loan or potentially permanent deal from Peterborough United. Yes, we're back in striker territory once again, with a couple of strikers linked to Accrington this January. Jack Marriott would be that clinical, proven option to add to their ranks. They're struggling for goals from a number 9. He looks like he could be available on loan, or maybe, like I say, on a permanent deal. I know when Grant McCann was in charge a couple of weeks ago, he wanted to get him out of the football club to allow him to get regular minutes and potentially, I guess, add a couple of funds to his budget. Now Grant McCann is not in charge and Darren Ferguson's back. We don't really know the situation, but he hasn't been getting minutes, and I think Jack Marriott will probably still be wanting to get out and start playing on a regular basis. At 28 years of age, his career is far from over, so sitting on the bench, it's a bit of a waste, really. It's a little bit of a waste. Like I say, for Peterborough, if they're not playing him, I mean, you probably could get a decent fee for him. Not a lot from Accrington. They haven't got an amazing amount of resources, but they can, pay a little fee, and that'd be better than just wasting someone on the bench. He's better than a backup striker for Peterborough United. They're looking to replace Cobb Bishop still, of course, Accrington, who they sold to Portsmouth in the summer. Jack Marriott could be that man. I've gone with him to join, currently at Peterborough United, to join Accrington in the January transfer window. So for Cambridge United, I've gone with Luke Plange. This would be a loan deal from Crystal Palace, with their top goal scorer only having 5 goals this season. Cambridge are yet another side looking for a striker in this transfer window. Luke Plange looks to be available for a League One loan, and Crystal Palace are looking to try and get him playing some regular professional stuff. He's currently playing out on loan in Belgium, but could be recalled to play domestic football. So again, the second half of the campaign, that could be a good pickup for lots of clubs, but Cambridge in particular, I think this would make total sense. I look at the players they've currently got. Sam Smith, Ironside, they're getting a couple of goals, a few goals, but not enough, not as much as last season. Adding someone like Luke Plange to the ranks, I think would just give that extra edge, that bit of energy up top. Barnsley are interested in the player's service. He's a promising youngster. Why wouldn't they be interested? So that does show. If Barnsley are interested, look, well, they're on the league table. Clearly, there's something about him. And other championship clubs as well are also sniffing around the centre forward. If Cambridge can bring him into the football club, that could be what they need to score a couple more goals and keep them in the division. Last season, they were so good at scoring goals. This season, they're conceding too many and not scoring enough. Get the goals up, I think they've got a good chance of staying up. I think Luke Plange is in a really, really good position at the moment to come on loan, come to League One and start performing in the domestic league. I've gone with Luke Plange to join Cambridge United on loan this time in January. So for Cheltenham Town, I've gone with Sam Bell. Yes, another striker, but I think Cheltenham have identified a striker as their priority this January. Of course, Dan Dooley was recalled from Southampton. He's now playing the second half of the season at Bolton Wanderers. So that striker area is looking a little bit bare. I think Sam Bell would join the ranks and certainly improve him. Looks to be a really great target. He impressed in the under-21s this season already, scoring 13 goals in 13 matches, but he struggled for first-team football in the Championship, suggesting that Nigel Pearson doesn't think he's ready, therefore should be available to go out on loan. He's had loan spells before, Grimsby, Yate Town, but now it's time to make that step up, join a League One side. I think he's got the ability. He's shown it under 21s level. Bristol City fans seem quite excited about his future, and I think for Cheltenham, this is a bit of a win-win as well. I know I've been saying it with all transfers because I've selected them, but I think Sam Bell, he's young, he's energetic, he's looking for regular minutes, he's going to be hungry as well. People feel he should be in the Bristol City side, so he's got a big point to prove. I think Sam Bell will be a good sign for Cheltenham Town this January. So for Charlton Athletic, I've gone with Charlie McNeil, potentially a low move from Manchester United, a striker. It is a striker, but a striker with over 600 goals for Manchester United across their youth teams. That's pretty impressive. 600 goals is a lot of goals. He knows where the goal is. For me, Charlton, they could do with another body up front, somebody a little bit different. Manchester United look to send McNeil out on loan this January to get some first-team football. A loan move does seem fairly doable. He's been ruthless at youth team level, like I say. He scored quite a few goals. He's now ready to have a professional loan on a regular basis. I believe he did a bit of work experience or a loan work experience at Sheffield Wednesday last season, but couldn't play in matches, so that wasn't part of the agreed deal. But he's now ready to play some games in League One. I think potentially some Championship clubs will be sniffing around him, but I think League One, it's a good place to start. Good place to start when it comes to a loan move for a player. McNeil, I think he'd fit in well with Lieber and Stockley. It allows Dean Holden to sort of do some different things. He can go over two up front. He can go with a 4-3-3, which is a one man up front. Lieber can maybe go out wide. Charlie McNeil also has played in the wide areas. I think this would be a really good loan move for Charlie to Manchester United and for Charlton Athletic. Charlie McNeil, a loan move from Manchester United for Charlton, I believe will be a good transfer to make this January. So for Shrewsbury Town, have gone with Leighton Stewart, a loan deal if this does happen from Liverpool. He's energetic, he's hungry, he's an exciting young striker, and that's something that Shrewsbury really could do with adding to their squad during this transfer window. It looks as though Liverpool are going to allow him to go out on loan. I think with a lot of clubs looking at him, Championship could be a little bit of a risk. First loan move, League One does make a little bit of a sense. And I think it could be quite an effective destination, Shrewsbury, when it comes to guaranteed minutes. There's no point sending him out on loan. You could carry on playing at the youth, for youth team if he's not going to get guaranteed minutes. So Shrewsbury, I think that does make sense. I think he will join a League One club during this window. I think Shrewsbury would really, really fit him into their squad quite well. He's prolific and has been prolific for youth teams over his Liverpool career so far. I think this makes sense. Leighton Stewart, a striker to join Shrewsbury Town this January. So for Lincoln City, I've gone with a bit of a familiar face. Anthony Scully, a loan deal from Wigan Athletic. Lincoln City fans, you know exactly what Anthony Scully is all about. Off the left, off the right, through the middle. He certainly is a familiar face and he would help them out big time. Of course, he left Lincoln in the summer, just gone to join Championship club Wigan, but he's not getting minutes. Colo Torre, I don't think he's in his plans either, the new manager there. It's a bit of a waste. I think he's only started 4 games so far this season in the Championship. That is just criminal. For a player of Anthony Scully's ability, we saw what he could do in League One. Lincoln are crying out for somebody in that final third. I know Jack Diamond's, I think, rumoured maybe to be recalled by Sunderland. Whether that does happen or not, I don't think that affects this deal. I think either way, you'd bring Anthony Scully into the football club. I think it's a great attacking reinforcement. It certainly would help. Other clubs will be looking at him because it's proven in this division. But if this can happen, if this can be a done deal for Lincoln City, what a pickup this would be. They know all about him, wouldn't need to settle in. I think for Wigan, only starting 4 games is a waste, an absolute waste. 23 years of age, he is being absolutely, he's wasting his career. I think Anthony Scully should join the football club Lincoln City, where he knows very well on loan this January. So for Oxford United, I've gone with Macaulay Bomb. This will be a free transfer after he was released by QPR a couple of days ago. Oxford are crying out for a centre-forward, like many clubs it seems, in Sky Bet League One. With Matty Taylor not in form, Joseph and Baldock out injured and have been for quite a long period of time. O'Donker's still very, very young. It is a must that somebody who can play up front, who can score goals, who can stay fit, joins the club, Oxford United, this January. Carl Robinson knows it, the fans know it, the owners know it, everybody now knows it. It was on ITV against Arsenal. I know we were not expected to score many goals against Arsenal, but when we did come forward, we looked totally hopeless in the final third, and that's been the case in League One as well. Importantly, he hasn't got a hideous injury record, and that is a huge type criteria tick in Oxford United's box because we've got a good track record of bringing in players that cannot stay fit. He's made 15 goal contributions in 29 starts for Ipswich back in the 21-22 season. Again, that's in League One, so proven strikers is what we're going to be looking for, not punts, not risks, proven players. He brings physicality, strength up front, with something that Oxford are lacking, really lacking. Matty Taylor, unfortunately, he's getting on a little bit now. He's very leggy. He can't be that sort of getting behind, advance forward if you like. He's all right if you ping a few balls in the penalty area. He's a fox in the box. But again, back to goal. He's not the one. It's not strong anymore. We need someone that's going to bring a little bit of physicality to the side in the attacking area. Bond would do that. It seems to be a realistic target. He's been released by QPR. He doesn't want to be there anymore. So it seems as though I think this is a fairly easy deal to get done. Other than there will be competition. Charlton, I know, was sniffing around early on. Whether or not that interest has continued, I don't know. Oxford are also known to be wanting to sign him in this window. Get it done. Get it done. Bomb to Oxford. That'll be the signing I'd like to see them make this January. So from one Macaulay to another, Fleetwood Town. I've gone with Macaulay Langstaff from Notts County. He's a striker. And I'll be honest, this is a bit of a shot in the dark. I don't know whether or not he is available. But if he is, Notts County currently top of the Vanarama National League. Would he want to leave at this point in the season? I don't know. I'm not sure. But Fleetwood, they need a clinical out-and-out number 9. Langstaff is the one. He is the one. He's all of those things. He's got 22 goals in 24 games in the Vanarama National League, and he's ready to make the step up. Now, of course, if they get promoted, they look on course to that Notts County. He'll be playing League 2 football next season. But I think he could easily be playing League 1 football. At 25 years of age, he's sort of got that room for improvement, but also he's coming up to the peak in his career. So, 25, League 2 would be 26. Let's make that step up now. Let's do it. I think Fleetwood could do it. Langstaff is a brilliant player. It wouldn't take an astronomical fee, I don't imagine. They are in the Vanarama National League. It wouldn't be, hugely cheap. But again, it's availability. It's whether or not, he wants to move or whatever. Again, all of these transfers, I've sort of researched players that I think would fit in the system and who roughly available. Macaulay Langstaff, he looks like a top player. He's playing the Vanarama National League, and I know that step up could be made. He's all the Fleetwood that need, I think, in this window. I've gone with him. If they could do it, this would be some signing. I've gone with Macaulay Langstaff to join Fleetwood in January. So for Pompey, I think a manager probably would be ideal. I can't lie, that does feel quite necessary. But other than that, I've gone with a centre-back, CJ Egan-Riley. I know they've already brought in a centre-half, but I think another one could be handy. I think with injuries, inconsistencies being a huge problem in the defensive area in particular, some fresh faces could be needed. CJ Egan-Riley would be an exciting young centre-back who is looking for regular minutes. He's not currently playing for Burnley after his move from Manchester City in the summer. He's only played 3 championship games so far during the campaign for Vincent Kompany's side. He'll be looking to make an impression on a regular basis, playing some football. He can read the game really well. He's got brilliant football education. He came through the ranks at Manchester City, so we know how those centre-backs are brought up at any age. He clearly can play and read the game very well. A low move like this, like I say, I've been saying it, for all of these transfers really, but I think it makes sense for all parties. I think CJ Egan-Riley, after a manager, would be ideal for Pompey this January. So for Bristol Rovers, I've gone with Connor Taylor. Yes, the one that you do recognise, Connor Taylor, on loan from Stoke City. He's a centre-back, and Bristol Rovers fans, like I say, will be fully aware of who this player is after a successful League 2 loan spell last year. They need a centre-back during the window. I think Taylor really could be that man. He's only started 8 games in the Championship, so send him out on loan. That does make sense. Taylor knows the gas very well, so in terms of settling in, that would not be a problem. He'd hit the ground running, hopefully, straight away, and wouldn't need bedding in. He kept 16 clean sheets in League 2 last season, or helped to keep 16 clean sheets last year, averaging 4.5 clearances per 90. For context, that's very good, and one of the best out of any other League 2 defenders that played in the division last season. He ticks all of the boxes, and this could be such an impressive option for Rovers. They need a centre-back, Connor Taylor. He knows it very well. He's not playing regular football at Stoke. Let's go and get that deal done. Bristol Rovers, I've gone with Connor Taylor. So for Exeter City, I've gone with Curtis Nelson. No, you're not dreaming. This is the 3rd consecutive time I haven't put a striker forward in this episode. Amazing. Curtis Nelson is a centre-back currently playing his football at Cardiff City. Another side looking for central defenders during the window. Curtis Nelson, I think, will be a brilliant pickup for Exeter. I know Curtis Nelson fairly well from a footballing perspective. From his time at Oxford United, he was cool, he was collected, he was brilliant in the air. A great ball-playing defender as well. I think Exeter, 29 years of age, it makes total sense. Only 3 starts in the Championship, suggesting he's not being favoured, and I think a move could be on the cards. He was a fan favourite at Oxford, like I said, and the captain as well. He brings that sort of experience, and also, I think, experience through the leadership, but also, I think, through performance as well. Loan could be possible, could be viable. Permanent, like I say, depends on the fee that Cardiff want. He's not playing football though, so I don't really see a point in loaning him out. I don't know. I think his contract is up at the end of the season as well. That could make it a little bit interesting. I don't know. Exeter City, Curtis Nelson, a loan deal from Cardiff. This makes sense for me. So at Port Vale, I've gone with Cole Stockton of Morecambe. Yes, we're back to strikers, and perhaps this is quite a controversial one, considering he's only scored 1 goal in League One, and he's had 13 games to do so. But last season, I think he proved all round he is that striker. He is brilliant up front. He was linked to Port Vale in the summer, and it seems as though he wasn't happy that he couldn't get that move. So maybe that's a reason why he's been poor in front of goal, and Morecambe's creativity has been nothing short than woeful. Last season, like I say, 23 goals in 44 games, single-handedly kept Morecambe in the league. I think Port Vale will be looking for an out-and-out centre-forward. Cole Stockton, I think, could be the man. Like I say, an attitude problem maybe if you sort of throw your toys at the pram with not getting a move that you wanted in the summer, perhaps. But I also think now Morecambe will be looking to cash in. I think it makes total sense. He's only got 1 goal, yes, but we know last season he can score 23 and 44. So there is that as well. He also think I got 28 goal contributions in total, including assists, and of course at the top of those 23 goals I've already mentioned. He's prolific when he's on form, so no doubt he can do it in League One. I think Cole Stockton would be a good move for Port Vale. And again, Morecambe, he doesn't want to be there. So I reckon get rid for his sake. And everyone's in sake really involved with Morecambe and Cole Stockton right now. So for Peterborough United, I've gone with Josh Hawkes of Tranmere Rovers. He is a central midfielder but can play in other positions. We'll come on to his versatility in just a few moments. For me, Peterborough need to add some fresh faces to the squad to get back into serious playoff contention and end the poor run of form they're currently experiencing. Hawkes will bring an element of creativity to this Peterborough United squad and also versatility and squad depth as well. He can play in midfield, he can play in the attacking areas, left midfield, right midfield, through the middle and behind the striker. That could be such an important player when looking at the rest of the season and the amount of games still to be played in the second half of this campaign. At 23 years of age, looking at the development of this player, I think this is quite a good time for him to move. He's doing well, of course, at Tranmere in League 2, but now we're talking about a step up into League 1 and potentially joining a club in Peterborough who want to get even higher than that back into the Championship. This could be a perfect move for him. I think he's ready to make that step up. He wants to, of course, ensure first-team football. I think Peterborough could certainly ensure him first-team football on a regular basis. Maybe a couple of question marks, but even still, he can work his way into that side. He's certainly impressed in the league below, in League 2. I've got Josh Hawkes to join Peterborough United in January. So Wycombe Wanderers are sort of looking for a left-sided centre-back and left-back in the same type of players. I've gone with Ebane Boat, be a loan deal from Fulham if it is completed. Of course, the aging Joe Jacobson has forced Gareth Ainsworth to move into the market for this type of player. Boat has great pace, physicality, shown calmness and composure on the ball, and at 20 years of age now, he wants to show his quality on a regular basis. He's not getting minutes at Fulham at the moment, so with his contract running out at Craven Cottage in the summer, this is the perfect time for him to show what it was all about. Either earn a new deal at Fulham or maybe even get himself in the shop window for a chance of a permanent deal in the summer. Let's wait and see. But I've gone with Ebane Boat. It definitely ticks those boxes that Gareth Ainsworth is looking for in that type of player. I think this ball-playing defender would fit Wycombe Wanderers really well. I've gone with Ebane Boat to join Wycombe Wanderers on loan from Fulham this January. So for Barnsley, I've gone with Connor Wickham. This will be a free transfer after his contract expired at Forest Green Rovers at the beginning of the month. He's a striker and he's very, very in demand. After his contract expired at Forest Green Rovers the other week, League One and Championship clubs are sniffing around the forward, and you can see why. In a struggling Forest Green Rovers side, he scored 6 goals in 13 starts. Confidence will be high for him. And like I say, and as we've seen throughout the entirety of this video, lots of clubs are looking for a striker. Somebody who is at 29 years of age, still very, very good and proven at League One level, in a side that wasn't creating too much service, who are currently also bottom of the table. This is going to be a very difficult deal for Barnsley to do, like I say, based off the other competition. But at the moment, with the way Barnsley are playing and where they are in the league table, that is quite an attractive proposition. It's certainly strengthened Barnsley's front line. A free transfer as well, financially, makes perfect sense. If Barnsley can sort of push away the other competition they'll have to get Connor Wickham into the football club, I think this would be a brilliant signing. I don't see why not, really. They're doing really well. Added another striker with James Nordos at the club as well. I think two quite similar strikers in that sense. I think this could work quite well. Connor Wickham, a free transfer to Barnsley. I think that ticks quite a few boxes for everyone involved. So for Bolton Wanderers, I've gone with Tyler Smith from Hull City, probably a loan deal. Now, Danlan Dulu is a good pickup, and they've done that already on loan from Southampton. But I feel Bolton needs some more fresh faces up front. We know that was a clear problem in the first half of the season. So adding another one like Tyler Smith, who I've highlighted, I think makes total sense. It looks as though he will be allowed to leave this winter after recently scoring a brace in the Championship against Wigan. So he's in top form, and he is confident. But still, only starting 4 games... that isn't enough for a player like Tyler Smith, who clearly has shown his quality when he has played. In fact, in those 4 starts, he scored 3 goals. That's not bad. That's not a bad goal-to-game ratio. He currently has a 33% goal conversion rate as well. So again, of course, he hasn't played as many games as other players, but even when he has played, his conversion rate's very good. And like I say, his goals per 90 are also quite impressive as well. I think Bolton, although Dan Nadulu is good and has done that in League One for Cheltenham and others, I think adding someone else. They've got Dapo, they've got Kunchunga, they've got Bakayoko, they've got Deon Charles. Now add some more players. Because clearly the players they already had, Bakayoko linked with the move away as well. They need some fresh players in for me. Sort of really do change at that front line, make it a different problem, allow Ian Evatt to be quite, I guess, clever, quite different, and I guess just have options really. I'd go with Tyler Smith, a loan deal from Hull City. I don't think it's going to be permanent. I don't think Bolton will be able to do that deal because Hull do see him for the future as well. I'd go with Tyler Smith joining Bolton on loan this January. So Derby County, I've gone with Darnell Fisher, probably a loan deal from Middlesbrough. Brilliant when it comes to versatility down that right-hand side. He can play right back, right wing back, right midfield, right winger if needs be. Really, really good. And I think that's a position that Paul Warne is certainly looking to strengthen during this January transfer window. He has been injured for a long period of time, so again, the fitness will also be a little bit of a question mark. But his future at Middlesbrough, a little bit in doubt because he has been away from that squad with an injury for a long period of time. Middlesbrough, new manager as well, doing quite a good job in the Championship. Breaking back into that team won't be easy, so going out, getting guaranteed minutes for Derby, who are doing really well also in League One, I think makes sense. He might want to break back into that Middlesbrough side like he did before, after he's now recovered fully from this injury. But he's going to need regular minutes to prove himself. I don't think he's going to get that at the moment with the way that Middlesbrough are playing. I think maybe a top-level League One loan move makes sense in the short term, and maybe even the long term as well, but certainly in the short term. Derby as well, I know they're looking for a type of player like that. I know Thomas, Sang, who's currently at Cardiff, was also on that list, but I think Darnell Fisher is definitely a player that can be made available and can be done during the window. I'd go with him to join Derby this January. So for Ipswich Town, I'm going to go with Malcolm Eberwelby on loan from Crystal Palace. They've already had George Hirsch join on loan from Leicester City. Nathan Broadhead join on a permanent deal from Everton. They have already strengthened their attacking areas a lot. An absolute lot. So if they get all three, I don't know where I stand. I honestly do not know where I stand. £1.5 million plus for Nathan Broadhead. Incredible. Welcome to League One. Welcome to the business the Tractor Boys are doing now on a regular basis. They have revolutionised their attacking talent. They've got an absolute abundance now. He would add an element of absolute brilliance. He's quick, he's skillful. Like I say, the pace he's got. I mean, he is a really, really exciting young prospect at Crystal Palace, who they are now looking to try and get some first-team football with. Of course, joined from Derby County, I believe, during that quite difficult sort of pre-takeover issue they had. He joined Crystal Palace on a permanent deal, free transfer, I believe it was. But he's now looking to sort of, like I say, go out on loan. I know Championship clubs are interested. Hull City, Preston, QPR. But if they comes down to League One and Ipswich get their hands on him, wow. Normally enjoys his football down that right-hand side, but can play anywhere across that front line. So again, when you look at the system that Kieran McKenna can play, he can do a very, very good job in most of those positions. So yeah, he would add to some brilliant attackers currently at Portman Road. I've gone with Malcolm Eberwelby to join Ipswich Town this January. So for Sheffield Wednesday, I'm going to go, and this really does hurt, Luke McNally, on loan from Burnley, a central defender who can also play at right back if needs be, but is normally a central defender. This hurts me. It really, really does. He'd be such a brilliant signing for Sheffield Wednesday. They do need a centre-back. He impressed in League One for Oxford United just enormously last year. His first season in the EFL, it was like he's playing in it for 10 seasons. It was so good to see him grow, see him develop, get better and better week on week. Strong in the air, comfortable on the ball, very, very quick, ran the ball out of the defence with absolute ease. Oh, the days of Luke McNally. He was so good. So if they can get him on loan, he's only made 2 appearances and 0 starts. Criminal in the Championship. Of course, joined Burnley for £2 million. Vincent Kompany, an amazing legend of a centre-half. You can see why Luke McNally would want to go there and learn off him, but he hasn't really given many opportunities either. So that's going to be a problem, and something that Luke McNally and Burnley and probably everybody involved want to try and get sorted, get him some regular football. I know he played quite well, actually, in the FA Cup for Burnley against Bournemouth recently when they won that game 4-2, I believe. But still, he's going to want to go and get regular minutes, and that's league football. And Luke McNally to Sheffield Wednesday would be such a good deal. Like I said, they need a defender. The future of a couple of defenders in doubt. I think Mark McGuinness potentially is in a little bit of doubt. So bringing him in, top notch. Top notch. Luke McNally, it'd be brilliant to see him back in League One, but not in a Sheffield Wednesday shirt. That's not what I want to see, but there we go. I think he'd be a great player though. So last, of course, we've got Plymouth Argyle. Now this one was quite difficult because they've been already a little bit busy in the window. A little bit. might be a little bit of an understatement. They've brought in Jay Matete, Ben Waine, Saxon Erling, Callum Wright, Tyreek Wright. We knew that when Morgan Whittaker got recalled from Swansea City, it was important they went out and strengthened in the attacking areas. They've done that. And not just in those areas either. They've been very, very good when it comes to finding their reinforcements early doors and getting them into the football club. And Stephen Schumacher has basically said their window is complete. So finding a transfer was quite tough and almost pointless, but I couldn't leave Plymouth Argyle fans in the dark. So I have gone with somebody, maybe not for now, but potentially in the summer. His name, Harvey Nibbs of Cambridge United. Now, I know there was interest, potentially, question marks over a bid being rejected by Plymouth early on. Maybe that's why they've gone with Tyreek Wright in the end and not Harvey Nibbs. But like I say, Morgan Whittaker leaving left them in a position where they had to add a striker. He was so good when it comes to goal contributions the first half of the season. So bringing someone else in was absolutely pivotal. They couldn't leave that position completely bare as it would be if he'd just walked out with no replacement. That would never have happened. League leaders and potential title winners don't do that. So I have gone with Harvey Nibbs. This is quite interesting because, like I say, right now, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think the budget's going to stretch this far. And believe it or not, I think Cambridge United are going to be looking for quite a big sum of money for somebody who's doing very, very well in quite a struggling Cambridge side. He scored 3 goals this season. Again, like I say, I highlight the word struggling side because Cambridge aren't really creating too many opportunities for the player. But if they do go down, this could be quite a sensible pickup. Whether or not Plymouth stay in the league, I don't know. But if they go up, again, I still think he can make a step up to the Championship and certainly should not be playing in League 2. Of course, sorry Cambridge fans, I'm not saying you're going to get relegated. I'm just saying it's a potential option there. And I'm a little bit desperate because Plymouth have already bought everyone by the time I made the video. So it's not my fault. Don't blame me. He's a versatile option. Again, like I say, he ticks those boxes, but I think they probably have already got that in the players they brought in. So, sorry Plymouth, I might have let you down there, but hopefully I haven't. He's a good player and he would be good, but you've bought people, so I can't do anything about it. Sorry. I'm not saying sorry, you've brought in good players. I'm taking that back. Anyway, right, that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Jack, this has been the Unfan Podcast. Please do leave a like and subscribe. On the road now to 3.9 thousand subscribers. The Arsenal video, the AFTV, all that sort of thing has been amazing, so helped the growth hugely. But now we kick on back to Sky Bet League One, all eyes on the division. And going to be a busy January window. And of course, the season is in full swing, back in full swing after FA Cup action last weekend. Some big games coming up on Saturday. So we'll have to wait and see for them. But hopefully you have enjoyed it. Take care, stay safe. I'll see you very soon. Take care.